All right, so we're going to go over some of the problems from this. And we're going to start with number one, where it tells us that the function g is defined by g of x equals 3x plus 8. So what is the value of g of 12? Basically, what it's saying is that what is our value whenever x is equal to 12? That's all it's saying is x is equal to 12 here. So when x is equal to 12, what is our answer going to be? Which simply just means that we're going to plug in 12 wherever we see an x. In this case, it's 3, and then we have an x, so we're going to put 12 plus 8. So 12 plus, so we're going to do our order of operations. We start with the parentheses, which is inside 12 plus 8, which is 20. After that, we move on to this, which is actually a multiplication problem. So 3 times 20, which gives us 60. So the answer for this question would be 60. Moving on to a question like number 4, where we have an expression that is equivalent to this. Now, the idea here is that we want to multiply these two things. Whenever we have two things separated by parentheses, that means multiplication. So what we want to do is separate these or multiply these and then compare them to see what of the expressions would be equivalent. So we usually do the box method here. And so we start off with the first box where we would have x times x squared, which gives us x cubed. So then we have 7 times x squared, that's 7x squared. Then the next box, we're going to have negative 3x times x, that's negative 3x squared. And we have 7 times negative 3x, that's negative 21x. 2 times x is 2x, and 7 times 2 is 14. Now from here, we're going to simplify it by combining our like terms, and we're usually able to combine these terms right here. Every other term would be something that we can combine. So x cubed is by itself. And just off of that, we can actually eliminate d because that one does not have x cubed. Next, we have 7x squared minus 3x squared, which is going to leave us with 4x squared. Now that eliminates c and also a. So we're really just left with b as our possible answer. But if we just finish this off, it's negative 21x plus 2 is negative 19x. And then we're left with 14 at the end. So that's our answer. So moving on to number 7. With number 7, we need to factor out this equation. Now, one of the things that we can always do before anything is see if there's anything common between these two. And as it turns out, we can factor a 3 out of that. So we're left with x squared plus 2x minus, that would be 8. Now to factor this out, we're going to look at the factors of 8. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. We want these two factors that are going to multiply to a negative 8. So that means that one of them has to be negative. So we already know that one of these factors has to be negative. They have to multiply to a negative 8, but they also have to add up to a positive 2. So we would actually go with these numbers right here on the bottom, 2 and 4. Because if we make the 2 a negative, that's negative 2 times 4, which gives us negative 8. But if we add negative 2 plus 4, that actually gives us a positive 2. Therefore, we're going to use those to factor it out, and we're just going to rewrite it. Don't forget that the 3 is still on the outside. So x minus 2 and x plus 4. So the 3 is still on the outside. It can't be C or D. And the only possible answer for this would be B.